Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I hope all of you are doing very well. I just wanted to talk to you about a recent Criterion Blu-ray that I received in the mail very recently. And so it's part of this thing where this year I want to talk about the new Criterion releases as I get them. So the one that I got very recently is Spine number 412. Now, this is the film called Sawdust and Tinsel. This is the Blu-ray of the film that was released in 1953, and this is directed by Ingmar Bergman. So this is the film with Ingmar Bergman's direction and his famous cinematographer Sven Nykvist, and also it has it's the story of the traveling circus troupe and how their lives are actually quite it's quite filled with a lot of emotion and tragedy and pathos. So this is a remarkable film if you haven't seen it, and it's one of the films that is included in the Bergman box set, Ingmar Bergman Cinema, that was released by Criterion a couple months back. But it's also its own individual release, Sawdust and Tinsel. And so I just wanted to go over with you this release and what it contains. Now, this is the new Blu-ray, and the older DVD release is right here, actually. Now, the older DVD release is, of course, a little bit larger, but there are a few other key differences just to bring them to your attention. This is a new restoration here, apparently. The Blu-ray, yes, it's a new 2K restoration, and that's very significant because with that new restoration in this new Blu-ray, the aspect ratio is 1.37 to 1, whereas the aspect ratio that for this film in the older DVD release is, I understand, 1.33 to 1. So there is a slight difference in aspect ratio. And I should say, while I'm not necessarily the biggest expert in video quality and the like, this new version is considerably, for lack of a better word, better. And so this is quite an improvement, I think. This wasn't bad. I think the DVD that it was originally released, I thought was quite good. It was very pretty, but there is a slight, but still noticeable difference, which makes this probably a little bit better in quality in terms of video, or image in terms, in my own personal opinion. There are other differences as well. Just very quickly, cosmetically, if we look at the back here and here, you can see that there's a slight difference in terms of color tones. Here you've got a light tan, like a brownish color, but here it's a little bit darker, maybe grayish. The but the back description here is slightly different in terms of its wording. So there's another difference there. And also you'll notice that it has a breakdown of the supplements or the special features. The special features include the introduction given by the director Bergman himself, which is also on the earlier DVD. There's also the stellar commentary track by the legendary Peter Cowie, which was also on the earlier DVD, and it's one of the great commentary tracks. You should listen to it if you have the chance. It's wonderful. So many great points that are brought up by the legendary Peter Cowie. And also there is an essay. That's another difference we should come to. So let's just go back here and go back here. So this is the earlier DVD, as I said, and this is the new Blu-ray release. So if we open up the new Blu-ray release, we can see the disc like so. Okay, and then you have the lovely face of the luminous and just incredible performance here, Harriet Anderson. So there's that, and I'll just leave it there for a second. And then if we open up the DVD, we can see, there we go. The DVD disc itself is it has a grayish tone whereas the color is slightly different here with the disc for the Blu-ray. And then we have here the picture of Anders Eck, and this is quite a memorable scene early on in the film involving his character, and kind of a flashback scene, very memorable. So you already have slight differences already. And if we open this up, we can see that this is the booklet that is for the DVD that is bound by 2 staples, and it's in booklet form. And we have the essays, one by John Simon and the other by Catherine Breillat. So you have 2 essays here, whereas in the Blu-ray release here, it's not bound by staple, but it's by this fold-out method. And you can see here that the essay that's included is only the essay by John Simon. So in fact, one of the essays, the second essay from here, is actually cut out, so it's not included as part of the booklet here. So you're not getting everything fully. And then, of course, just other cosmetic differences. The inner picture here is slightly different than the inner picture here, of course. And you have other differences, I think, if you look here. This is a fold-out, so the only pictures that are included are on this part of the fold-out here. Everything else is either text or information about the cast and crew, etc. Whereas for the DVD booklet, we have different pictures, obviously, but we also have much more going on. There's a picture of Bergman there, and also in memory of Ingmar Bergman, 1918 to 2007. And let's see, we have a picture that is a repeat of the picture that we saw here in the inside of the Blu-ray case. And then, let's see, here we go. Here is the picture here of Harriet Andersson, which is the picture that we saw at the Blu-ray. This is the leaflet for the Blu-ray. And here we go. Here's a different picture. Here's a picture in the DVD booklet that we didn't see, I think, in the Blu-ray. So very, very interesting there. And here we go. There's another picture from the DVD booklet. Now, this is actually half of the still, which we actually see the complete version of here, as you can see. Right? So this is the Blu-ray booklet, and this is the DVD booklet. So as you can see, the DVD booklet only includes half of the still, right? And the complete picture actually appears in the Blu-ray. So that's a pretty interesting, perhaps minor detail. Okay, so there is that presentation in terms of the new Blu-ray versus the older DVD release. So in the end, are you missing out if you get the newer Blu-ray versus getting the older DVD? I would probably say no. I would say that you aren't necessarily missing out. I think, I mean, if you are truly completist in terms of physical media releases, then of course you should probably get both, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. And in fact, I would say that the new Blu-ray presentation, in terms of its new 2K restoration, and also in terms of the aspect ratio and the like, I think this is the superior version, and I think this is the one to get, in my own personal opinion. And it's great because, as you know, this is part of the Bergman box set. And so the Bergman box set is very plentiful. It's filled with so many films, and it's also very expensive. So this might be another film that you could consider watching first before you decide whether or not you want to get the Bergman box set. This is, I would say, in terms of its film, the film quality, it is it has gone up quite considerably in my estimation. And to be perfectly honest, I never really thought about it with much seriousness before, but I think I was very mistaken in my initial assessment, because now that I have watched it a number of times, and in particular as part of the Bergman box set exploration, this film is quite remarkable, and it's well, perhaps one of the most remarkable films in Bergman's filmography, and I would dare say it is quickly becoming one of my favorite Bergman films. It is astounding. It is the performances are extraordinary, and if you haven't fallen in love with Harriet Andersson by now, this will probably seal the deal for you. Yes, it's just an extraordinary feat of cinematic beauty and tragedy and sadness. So I would recommend getting this film for the film itself, and also getting the Blu-ray, because the Blu-ray is quite a great presentation, and it also has the essential supplements from the earlier DVD, namely the Bergman introduction and also the Peter Cowie commentary track. So yes, so Sawdust and Tinsel. This is the new Blu-ray that was released in December 2018. And yes, it is highly, highly recommended, both as a Criterion release and also as a film itself, because this film is absolutely splendid. Okay, my friends, let me end it there, and I hope this video finds you well. Until we meet again, please be happy and healthy, and please keep watching a lot of films, and please keep watching a lot of Bergman films. I hope you are watching them and that you are enjoying them as much as I. And until we meet each other again, cheers.